the UFC, you get many different fighters. There's skinny guys, fat guys, hell, there's even predators.
I was 23, she was 17. And when your wife is a little bit younger,
it's easier to make her your wife.
Okay, maybe Sneeko did deserve this. But that's for a different video. Today we're going to be talking about aura merchants in the UFC. Now, you might be wondering, what is an aura merchant? An aura merchant is basically like a fighter who is carried by their aura, not their actual skill level. This can make you pick this fighter against unfavorable matchups. Some fighters are still very successful and still have a lot of aura. So the fighter I'm going to talk about in this video is Benoit Saint-Denis. Now, if you didn't know, Benoit Saint-Denis was in the French Special Forces. So he's maybe one of the most dangerous fighters in and outside of the cage. When he came into the UFC, he fought first at welterweight, and he had a war, but he did lose that fight. But then he moved up to lightweight, and he went on a 5-fight win streak. Benoit had multiple finishes, notable fights, notable wins. Most notable win being Matt Frivola, which was a pretty good win, I'd say. Talks the same way how Sean Strickland describes his own fights. His motto being war. He actually goes to war every single fight. But then he got a matchup in number 4 ranked Dustin Poirier, which was a giant step up from his previous competition. And somehow going into the fight, Benoit Saint-Denis was still the favorite against Dustin Poirier. This was probably because Dustin's last fight, he got knocked out by Justin Gaethje with a head kick in the second round. Now, going into this fight, personally, I had Dustin Poirier winning. So the first round starts, and Benoit is actually having a lot of success. He's doing what he normally does in most of his fights, which was pretty crazy to me, crazy to see. So round 1 ends, and Benoit easily wins that first round. But when round 2 starts, you can see that Benoit is very tired. Dustin wins very hard shots on Benoit Saint-Denis. Then Dustin knocks him out and ends Benoit Saint-Denis' 5-fight win streak at lightweight. Now, after this fight, I still had high hopes for Benoit Saint-Denis because of the way he looked in that first round. And people forget, man, he had staph in that fight. People forget he had staph infection, which can alter your performance a lot and can make you tired. But the UFC decides not to give him any easy fight and had him return against Renato Moicano. And for this fight, I actually picked Benoit Saint-Denis to win. And damn, I was wrong. This fight, Renato Moicano basically took Benoit Saint-Denis down in the first round and just beat him up so badly. Some people were even calling it a 10-7, but it was definitely a 10-8 round. Then in the second round, Moicano kind of coasted, jabbing him up, but Benoit somehow won the second round, which is crazy to me. But then after it ended, the doctor came in and called it a doctor stoppage because Benoit's face was just all messed up, and I think it was the right call. Brings me to the end of today's video. Do you think Benoit Saint-Denis can make a comeback in the UFC? I've heard that his next fight will be against Joel Alvarez, which again is a very tough fight, and honestly, I don't think I'd pick Benoit in this fight either. Joe has been on an absolute tear. I believe Joe is going to be the next big thing in the lightweight division. I think he's the best prospect we have in the UFC right now. But Benoit still has a lot of potential because he's only 28 years old. He can make a good comeback in the UFC. So that's it for today, though. Thanks for watching and subscribe if you want.